In this video, we're going to be looking at two-dimensional and three-dimensional shapes. First, we're going to look at two-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes are flat shapes on a surface. So for example, this paper has all two-dimensional shapes on it. Each shape consists of sides and angles. Angles are made when two sides connect. So for this triangle here, we have 1, 2, 3 sides, and we have 1, 2, 3 angles. Over here on this quadrilateral, which is a four-sided shape, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. Let's do one more. On this shape, which is a pentagon, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 sides. We also have 5 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The number of sides and the number of angles will always match in a two-dimensional shape. Now that we know about sides and angles, let's learn about the different types of two-dimensional shapes. On this paper here, you will see different examples of two-dimensional shapes. The first one we're going to talk about is a triangle. A triangle is any two-dimensional shape that has 3 sides and 3 angles. A quadrilateral is any shape that has 4 sides and 4 angles. So all 4 of these shapes right here are quadrilaterals. However, each of these shapes has a different name. This first one is a square. A square is a shape that has 4 sides of equal length and 4 90-degree corners. A 90-degree corner is right here, or a 90-degree angle. It's where both lines can make a square corner when they connect. The next shape is a trapezoid. It has 1 set of parallel lines. Parallel lines are like railroad tracks. They're 2 lines that run directly across from each other and will never touch no matter how far they go. This trapezoid also has to have, besides 1 set of parallel lines, another set of lines that will eventually cross or intersect further up. This makes a trapezoid. A trapezoid can also look like this. As long as it has a set of parallel lines and another set of lines that connect to make a 4-sided shape like this, or any other way, then it is called a trapezoid. The last 2 shapes here have the same name. They're called a rhombus. We no longer have a shape that is defined as a diamond, even though I'm sure that back in your time, you may have easily seen a shape that has been called a diamond. But a rhombus is a 4-sided shape that has 4 lines of equal length, but the shape is slanted or tilted, so the corners are not 90 degrees. The angles are of different varieties. This shape and this shape are both rhombuses, even though this one is narrower than this one. The next shape we're going to talk about is a pentagon. A pentagon can look different ways. As long as it has 5 sides and 5 angles, it is considered a pentagon. Some students like to call this the house shape. It's very hard sometimes to correct them and make them understand that it's not necessarily a house, it's a pentagon. This shape down here is also a pentagon. The very last shape we're going to talk about is a hexagon. A hexagon is a 6-sided shape with 6 angles. These are all of the basic two-dimensional shapes that your child will need to know. Next, we're going to be going on to three-dimensional shapes. The first shape I'm going to show you is a cube. Many of us have seen a cube, especially if we played a game, like a board game, because it is the shape of a die. Each of these three-dimensional shapes has faces, edges, and vertices. Faces are the flat part of the shape. Edges are where 2 faces meet, and vertices are those corners where the edges meet. So faces are the flat side, edges are where the 2 faces meet, and vertices are the corner part where the edges meet. In a cube, we would ask the students to identify the number of faces, edges, and vertices. We would count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would say that this cube has 6 faces. For edges, we count the number on one side. 1, 2, 3, 4. We count the ones standing up, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we count the ones going along the bottom, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we say that a cube has 12 edges. For the vertices, we count the corners where those edges meet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So a cube has 8 vertices. The next shape I'm going to show you is a cylinder, like a can of green beans or a can of corn. A cylinder has 2 faces. This does not categorize as a face because it is a curved surface. So we can only say it has 2 faces. It also has 0 edges because in order for it to have an edge, this line right here would have to be straight. And since it is curved, it cannot be considered an edge. The next one I'm going to show you is a cone. A cone is like a party hat. It has a face on the bottom and a vertice at the top. But it has a curved surface here, and this is not considered an edge. So we have 1 face, 0 edges, and 1 vertice. Similar to a cube, we have a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism has to have rectangular or square faces that connect 2 other faces on the end. These faces can be different. For example, this is a triangular prism. It has a triangular face here, while this one has a square face here. However, if I were to flip these over, both of these shapes have either a square or a rectangular face that connect the other ends of the three-dimensional shape. So both of these are considered prisms. This shape right here is called a square pyramid. A square pyramid means that the base of the shape is a square and the faces all meet up to a vertice at the top, creating a square pyramid. This shape has 1 face here, so 1, 2 faces, 3 faces, 4 faces, 5 faces. It has edges too because these straight lines connect the faces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 edges with a vertice at the top. The last shape I'm going to talk about today is a sphere. A sphere is just like a ball. A sphere is a completely curved surface, so it has 0 faces, 0 edges, and 0 vertices. These are the three-dimensional basic shapes that your child will need to know in 2nd grade.